Good afternoon. Well, it's a scorcher. It's about 90. I'm walking. The air is still. I've been running in this heat too when I'm not talking, because I'm not sure how that would go. Well, you could try that. You can see there. You can see the sky moving over there. That's not quite as much fun. The one thing that's happened today that I'm very happy about is that we finally have the Department of Justice has released the affidavit in support of the search warrant. And I think it's been very useful because they also released some documents about the BS notion that Trump has. Now, you've probably heard everybody talking about what's in the report by now. And you can download it and look at it. And yeah, there are some things that are taken out, but it does make clear one thing in particular, or two things. One, repeated requests and rebuffs by Trump, the master of obstruction, lies, and thievery, and a government that is slow to say to him, hey fella, you're not entitled to have that stuff, give it to us, or we'll sue your ass. That's the kind of legal language that a person might use in this circumstance. And one of my favorites in the papers is there's a national defense set of documents that are identified as such, not marked out, but the content is not revealed, and that won't be revealed unless and until they go to court, and then they may have to work out a sealed proceeding to deal with that if there is a trial, and I'll get to that in a moment. But the notation is that among these national defense documents, it appeared that Trump's handwriting was on the actual document. So he's going to tell us he didn't know that he had the document and that he wrote on it. You know, this is kind of basic in a criminal case. You direct the person, give you handwriting exemplars, and then you hire an expert who compares his handwriting, you know, those marks that go up and down, like a child, and with whatever his marks are on that document. And perhaps for good measure, we could throw in when he's marked up maps explaining where the weather systems are moving. So, I think it's a big success that they released the documents. We'll be talking about it for 3 or 4 days. Additional stuff will surely come out showing Trump to be the evil, bad guy that we know him to be. Okay, so now let's get to the second question, and this is the one that frustrates me the most. We don't do anything. Now, in a regular case, what would have happened? This guy would have been called on the carpet. He would have been interviewed by the FBI. It doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be a distraught situation, except for the emotion of having no defense and deciding whether to talk at all. But in any other case, he'd be called on the carpet and be asked, what the hell is this? Why did you do that? Who was involved in the other thing? But we're not doing that. Okay. You can arrest someone on a criminal complaint, meaning it's not an indictment. And what it basically is an affidavit that is not sealed, unless you're afraid of flight, and then it's unsealed when you capture the person. So you have a complaint that's sworn to by usually an FBI agent or some investigative force. Could be DHS in this case, could be, CIA, FBI, the collection of intelligence agencies that have a dog in the fight, if you will. And then he would be arrested. Now, why do you do that? Well, when you arrest somebody on a complaint, you can still have a grand jury sitting. And if you arrest somebody on a complaint, you can ask them to talk to you without an attorney being present. I don't know that would happen, but there's a Supreme Court case, Messiah, that permits that. And it makes some difference in other cases, but in this case, even with the sorry bunch of lawyers he's had, they would probably object. So, to clarify my second concern, to borrow from the song Alfie, what's it all about if we don't prosecute this guy? We have to prosecute this guy. Otherwise, we're a joke. And, why do people threaten others because they can get away with it. So it's not just going after and investigating the people who do this. It's putting them behind bars. It's putting them on high bail. It's putting on protective orders. It's identifying them. It's letting them know that there's shit in the game. And if you're going to do this stuff, you're going to commit the crime, you better be ready to do the time. And these guys, they have it in their heads. If they talk to you truthfully, and even they probably brag about it on the air and social media, their position is, we're going to get Trump elected in 24, and if any of us are in custody, he'll let us out. And you know what? It's not unbelievable, because it doesn't look like we're arresting anybody right now. There is not a single person lower down than Trump that we could arrest who would turn states' federal evidence against Trump. No one. So, I am filled with happiness that Trump has been proven a liar as to the content of the affidavit that fairly demonstrates they had every right, and the judge was absolutely correct to authorize a search of Xanadu, where sleeps Trump occasionally. Now, I am also unhappy that all this Sturm und Drang may go nowhere if we arrest no one, but then there's only one that we really need to arrest, and his name is Donald Trump. And if he is not arrested, he is not prosecuted, America's lost its way, and with it will be elections and the question of the democracy. So let's hope for better times. And in the meantime, without running, here I am in the Cathedral of Trees, and I look forward to joining you soon.